Welcome to the Artful Camper. Today I'm going to show you how to make a little miniature pond that you can put in your fairy garden or miniature display or flower pot. And for this whole tutorial I'm just using what I would call junk clay. The first part of the pond is the base, and I'm using gray, and you'll see it has little flecks of gold in it, and I'm not sure what I was making originally, but it kind of adds to the look of the rocks. So I'm adding little boulders and rocks about 3/4 of the way around. And I'm adding little dabs of gold, and that's to represent moss or weeds, whatever. And I'm using a straw to add the texture. Straws are so handy when you're working with clay. Next, I'm mixing a little bit of blue into white. And the clay that I'm using is Sculpey and Primo, so whatever your preference is. And like I say, you can use clay you've got hanging around the house. So I drape that white and blue clay over the back, and then I add a darker blue for the water, and I tuck that all inside the pond. And then I add a little bit of blue and blend it in. And that's for the waterfall. And I add some white, and I add texture. This is where the waterfall meets the base of the pond. And I'll be adding more texture as we go along. And I'm adding some green clay here and there, and that represents more moss, more leaves. And you can, using teardrops, you can, teardrop shaped clay, you can add little leaves and things, but I was just going to add like moss growing around. And that was hard to see, but I just trimmed the bottom. Okay, and I added another boulder to the front. And as you can see, it's starting to take shape. Here I'm mixing brown, gold, and white, and I'm swirling it. And that's going to be a little log. Now I have these tweezers, and I'm adding some texture and lines into the log. I don't know where I got these tweezers from. I think like maybe a jewelry kit or something, but it comes in handy. And you can see how I can sort of blend the colors. I use the back to make a little more definition into the boulder. And blending, making the foamy water at the bottom of the waterfall. Yeah, I like the way that looks. It's starting to come along. Now I'm adding little red flowers. You can add whatever you want. Flowers, weeds, tall grasses, whatever you feel like making. So I'm going to add a turtle. So I put it down some green, then I add little legs and a head. And I just used some swirled clay because the turtle's so small. Put the top of green on, and then I'm going to take my tweezers. I add some eyes, and I put some definition in the back of the turtle. And to finish it up, I'm going to add a few more little flowers. They're very impressionistic, I would call them. So I hope you like this tutorial, and I hope you can make a little pond for your fairy garden or potted plant. Thanks for watching.